How was your day? Evening is a special time, isn't it? A time when you finally want to relax, unwind from the day's worries, get comfortable in your favorite armchair, maybe with a cup of tea and something tasty. But have you noticed that sometimes, despite being tired, sleep just won't come? Tossing and turning, thoughts racing, and then in the morning, feeling worn out, brain fog, and absolutely no energy. Sound familiar? Believe me, you're not alone. As we age, our bodies change. It's natural. Our metabolism slows down a bit, our hormonal balance shifts, and things that used to go unnoticed can become a real problem after 60. And often, the root of this problem lies in one very common, cozy, and familiar evening ritual. I'm talking about late-night snacks, especially if it's something sweet or heavy. You know, it's like trying to lull a baby to sleep after giving them a ride on a roller coaster. Sugar and simple carbs in the evening are a real energy explosion for the body, followed by a sharp crash, disrupting the delicate balance of sleep hormones. And heavy food forces your digestive system to work overtime when the whole body is already preparing for rest. It's like asking an orchestra to play a march when the conductor has already raised the baton for a lullaby. But don't worry, I'm not here to scold or forbid. Quite the opposite. I want to share simple, accessible, and even enjoyable secrets on how to slightly change this evening ritual so that your sleep becomes deeper, mornings more energetic, and your well-being improves. You'll be surprised how small changes can transform your life. I promise, no complicated diets or exhausting rules. Just common sense, a little self-care, and tasty alternatives. Let's figure out together how to reclaim the joy of peaceful nights and energetic days. Stay with me until the end, and you'll learn how to make your evenings truly healing. Stay with me until the end, because some of these lessons might surprise you. 1. Goodbye evening cookies and candies. So, the first thing I want to talk about is our beloved sweets before bed. A cookie with tea, a candy for the road to bed, a piece of cake left over from lunch. Sounds so harmless, so cozy, right? But let's replace this habit. Instead of processed sweets full of sugar and nipinyatny, unclear mystery, consider using unhealthy fats. Try eating a small handful of fresh or frozen berries, strawberries, raspberries, blueberries, whatever you like best, or half a baked apple with cinnamon. I remember the story of a wonderful woman, Margaret. She was 72. All her life, she drank tea with 2 or 3 oatmeal cookies before bed. She used to say, "It's my little ritual. Without it, the evening isn't evening." But in recent years, she started complaining about poor sleep, often waking up in the middle of the night and feeling completely exhausted in the morning, as if she hadn't slept at all. When I suggested she replace the cookies with berries, she initially dismissed it. "What good are those berries? That's not serious. But cookies, they warm the soul." She was so used to that sweet taste, that feeling of the day being complete. It seemed to her that giving up cookies would deprive her of a small joy. You see, it wasn't just food, it was an emotion, a habit ingrained over decades. But fatigue took its toll, and Margaret decided to try. At first, it was strange. The berries seemed tart after the overly sweet cookies. But after just a week, she noticed a difference. She started falling asleep more easily, stopped waking up at 3 in the morning. And most importantly, she had energy in the morning. You know, she told me later, for the first time in a long time, I woke up and felt truly rested. And even the garden seemed brighter to me in the morning. Why did this happen? It's simple. Cookies are fast carbs, that very blood sugar spike, a roller coaster for your body before sleep. And berries? They contain natural sweetness, fiber, vitamins, and antioxidants. They provide satiety, but don't cause sharp sugar fluctuations. The fiber in berries works like a caring gardener in your gut, slowly and gently, aiding digestion without overloading it. Plus, antioxidants fight inflammation, which often increases with age. What's the benefit for you? Stable blood sugar at night means deeper, calmer sleep. Better digestion means less discomfort and bloating. And in the morning, more energy and mental clarity. Try it. Maybe a handful of fragrant blueberries will become your new healthy evening ritual. 2. Chips and salty crackers. Time to retire them. And what about salty snacks? Do you like crunching on chips or crackers in front of the TV in the evening? Oh, I understand you completely. That crunch, that intense flavor, seems like the perfect accompaniment to your favorite movie or show. But let's be honest, these snacks are a real salt and fat bomb for our bodies, especially in the evening. What do I suggest instead? A small handful of nuts, walnuts, almonds, cashews. Just make sure they're unsalted and not roasted. Or pumpkin seeds. Let me tell you about Arthur. He was 68. He was a big fan of watching the evening news with a bag of chips. "It's my way to relax," he'd say. The day was stressful, and here I am, crunching away, and it seems to let go. But Arthur suffered from swelling by the evening, often woke up with leg cramps, and his sleep was shallow, anxious. He blamed it on age and the weather. The thought of giving up chips almost panicked him. What will I crunch on then? It's a tradition. He was used to associating that crunch and salty taste with relaxation, with the end of the workday. Butter in the body, hence the swelling, and can raise blood pressure. Plus, unhealthy fats and flavor enhancers overstimulate the nervous system. And nuts and seeds, they are a source of healthy omega-3 fats, protein, vitamins, and, very importantly, magnesium. Magnesium is a natural relaxant for our muscles and nervous system. It helps relieve tension, reduces cramps, and promotes deeper, calmer sleep. Think of it this way. Chips are like drinking a glass of seawater in the desert. The thirst only intensifies, and the body suffers. A handful of nuts is like a sip of clean spring water and nourishing soil for your health. What's the benefit for you? Reduced swelling, prevention of night cramps, support for heart and vessel health, thanks to healthy fats, and, of course, improved sleep quality due to magnesium. Maybe it's worth swapping the salty crunch for a healthy one? If you are still watching this video and find the information useful, write the number 2 in the comments or something nice if what I'm talking about is helpful to you, so I know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now is the perfect time. Subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any new videos. All right, let's move on. 3. Sweet drinks in the evening? Better have a cup of herbal tea. Now, about drinks. What do you usually sip on during your evening relaxation? Sweet tea with 3 spoons of sugar, a glass of store-bought juice from a carton, maybe soda, or even a glass of warm milk with honey, the old-fashioned way. It seems like it helps to relax and warm up, but sugar, even in liquid form, is still an enemy of restful sleep. And some drinks can also make you run to the bathroom all night. I suggest replacing these options with a cup of warm herbal tea without sugar, chamomile, mint, linden, lemon balm, or just a glass of warm water. Remember Eleonora, 75 years old. She had a habit. Every evening she drank a large mug of very sweet black tea. "It warms me up and calms me down," she said. But she also complained about waking up 3 to 4 times a night to go to the bathroom and then having trouble falling back asleep. She was convinced these were just unavoidable age-related changes in her bladder. The thought of drinking tea without sugar, or even worse, some kind of herb, seemed sacrilegious to her. Tea must be sweet. Otherwise, what's the point? This ritual was a symbol of comfort for her, perhaps reminiscent of childhood. Besides, black tea contains caffeine, although less than coffee. After much persuasion, she agreed to try drinking chamomile tea in the evening, completely without sugar. The first few days it tasted bland, empty, but imagine her surprise when, for the first time in many years, she slept until 6 a.m. without waking up. "At first, I was even scared," she laughed later. "I thought something was wrong. And then I realized, I just slept." What changed? First, she eliminated sugar, which caused insulin spikes and could disrupt sleep. Second, she replaced black tea with chamomile, which contains no caffeine and has a mild calming effect. Third, perhaps she started drinking slightly less liquid right before bed, as the herbal tea didn't cause the same thirst as the overly sweet tea. Sweet drinks in the evening are like noisy neighbors next door keeping you awake. A cup of warm herbal tea is like a quiet, gentle lullaby for your nervous system. What's the benefit for you? Fewer nighttime trips to the bathroom, falling asleep faster thanks to the calming effect of herbs, no sugar spikes or caffeine jitters. It's also a great way to warm up and relax without harming your sleep. Try to find your favorite herbal flavor. 4. A heavy dinner before bed, not the best idea. Moving on. It's not just about snacks, but also about the main evening meal, How often do you eat a heavy dinner shortly before bed? Fried potatoes, fatty meat, a large salad with mayonnaise. After such a meal, the only desire is to lie down. But that's exactly what interferes with quality rest. Your digestive system is forced to work at full capacity when it should be resting. Try making dinner lighter and, very importantly, eat at least 3 to 4 hours before bed. Let it be baked fish or chicken breast with vegetables, vegetable soup, or a cottage cheese bake. Consider David's story. He was 70. He was used to eating dinner late, around 9 p.m., and it was always substantial. I worked all day. I deserve a good dinner, he believed. But almost every night he suffered from heartburn, heaviness in his stomach, and his sleep was restless, often plagued by nightmares. He took antacids, but the problem kept returning. The idea of eating earlier and lighter seemed ridiculous to him. What am I, a monk eating some greens at 6 p.m.? I'm used to eating normally. For him, a hearty late dinner was a symbol of prosperity, a reward for a hard day's work. He was afraid he would feel hungry during the night if he ate earlier and less. But the constant discomfort and poor sleep forced him to reconsider his habits. He started eating dinner around 7 p.m., replacing fried meat with baked turkey and potatoes with stewed vegetables. At first, it felt strange going to bed with a feeling of lightness in his stomach. But after just a few days, he noticed the heartburn was gone, completely, and sleeping became much easier, without that suffocating heaviness. It turns out, he told me, you should go to bed with a light stomach, not a full one. Now I understand why they say, eat breakfast yourself, share lunch with a friend, and give dinner to your enemy. A heavy late dinner is like trying to sleep while carrying a heavy backpack full of rocks. The digestive system works, body temperature rises, hormones are released that interfere with the production of melatonin, the sleep hormone. A light, early dinner is like a leisurely walk in the evening park. The body is relaxed and ready for rest. What's the benefit for you? Relief from heartburn, heaviness, and bloating. Improved sleep quality as the body doesn't expend energy on digestion. Prevention of weight gain. And simply a pleasant feeling of lightness before bed. Give your digestive system a rest at night along with you. If you haven't subscribed yet, be sure to subscribe and turn on the bell icon so you don't miss new videos. Your support helps us continue creating useful and inspiring content for you. And now, let's move on. 5. The blue screen before bed, melatonin's enemy. And what are you busy with in the last hour before sleep? Maybe watching the news on TV, or scrolling through your news feed on your phone, or reading something on a tablet. It seems like it helps to distract and relax. But in reality, the bright light from screens, especially the blue spectrum they emit, suppresses the production of melatonin, our main sleep hormone. Plus, the information we consume, news, social media, is often stressful or stimulating. Try putting away all gadgets an hour before bed and dedicate this time to calm, relaxing activities. Read a paper book under dim light. Listen to calm music or an audiobook. Take a warm bath with salt or herbs, do some light stretching, or simply sit in silence and daydream. Meet Susan. She was 65. She couldn't imagine her evening without her tablet. She read news, chatted on social media, played games, right in bed, just before turning off the light. How else? She wondered. I need to stay informed, and it helps distract me from my thoughts. But she had trouble falling asleep, often lying awake for an hour or more, thoughts swirling, sleep shallow. She blamed stress and age. The idea of giving up the tablet before bed seemed wild to her. What will I do for a whole hour? Be bored? She was afraid of being alone with her thoughts. Gadgets were her way of silencing the inner dialogue. But the constant fatigue and feeling worn out in the mornings made her reconsider. She decided to try a digital detox an hour before sleep. She bought a few paper books she'd long wanted to read, downloaded calm classical music. The first few evenings were hard. Her hand automatically reached for the tablet. The silence seemed deafening. But then she got into it. Reading captivated her, music soothed her, and, miracle, she started falling asleep much faster, within 15 to 20 minutes. And her sleep became deeper. I forgot what it's like to just lie there and feel sleep enveloping you, she shared. Before, I would just pass out from exhaustion or toss and turn until midnight. Now, I fall asleep peacefully. Why does this work? The light from screens tricks our brain into thinking it's still daytime, suppressing melatonin production. and the information flow, especially negative or emotionally charged content, activates the nervous system, causing anxiety and hindering relaxation. Evening gadget use is like trying to sleep in a busy train station under bright lights and loudspeaker announcements. An hour of silence, a book, or calm music is like a cozy bedroom with thick curtains and the ticking of an old clock. What's the benefit for you? Natural melatonin production, making it easier to fall asleep and improving sleep quality. Reduce stress and anxiety levels before bed. An opportunity to switch from daytime worries to a calm state. Improved mood and cognitive functions the next day thanks to proper rest. Give yourself this hour of calm before sleep. 6. Chaos before bed. Create your island of calm. We've talked about food, drinks, gadgets, but there's another important aspect of the evening ritual that's often overlooked. It's the atmosphere itself and the sequence of actions before you get into bed. Does it often happen that you're busy with things until the very last minute? Maybe finishing the dishes, suddenly remembering an unpaid bill, or even getting into an emotional conversation with loved ones right before sleep? And then you wonder why your head is buzzing and you can't sleep. Evening chaos, the lack of a smooth transition from an active day to a peaceful night. This is another serious blow to our sleep. I suggest you create your own, perhaps small, but consistent and calming bedtime ritual, a kind of bridge between wakefulness and rest. This could be a sequence of simple, pleasant actions performed every evening around the same time. I knew an energetic lady, Evelyn. She was 71. She was always active, and evenings were no exception. She'd be folding laundry, calling her grandkids, or suddenly start planning tomorrow's tasks, writing things down in her notebook almost right before turning off the light. She'd say, "I can't sit idle, and time is precious. Got to get everything done." But she complained that she couldn't switch off in bed for a long time. Thoughts kept spinning like clockwork, and her sleep felt shallow, anxious. When I mentioned an evening ritual, she initially scoffed. "What rituals? That's for kids, or those with nothing better to do. My life is buzzing." It seemed to her that routine was boring. It deprived her of spontaneity. She was used to living at a fast pace, and the idea of slowing down before bed felt unnatural, almost lazy. But the constant feeling of being on edge even at night, and the morning fatigue, finally made her reconsider. Together, we came up with a very simple ritual for her. 45 minutes before her intended bedtime, she would dim the lights in the bedroom, put on quiet instrumental music she loved in her youth, do a few light stretches sitting on the edge of the bed, and then read a paper magazine about gardening, her hobby, for 15 to 20 minutes. That's it. No chores, no phones, no planning for tomorrow during this time. At first, it was difficult. She felt the urge to jump up, finish something. Thoughts about tasks crept in, but she persistently followed her new plan. And after about a week, she noticed something amazing. As soon as she dimmed the lights and turned on the music, her body seemed to start relaxing on its own. Reading the magazine took her away from daily worries, and getting into bed, she felt not the usual tension, but a pleasant readiness for sleep. She started falling asleep faster, and most importantly, that wound-up feeling disappeared. "You know," she said, "I realized it's not boredom, it's like a harbor for a ship after a stormy day. My brain now understands. Here's the music, here's the magazine. That means rest is coming soon, and it stops resisting." Why is this so important? Our brain and body need signals to switch from fight or flight mode, daytime activity stress, to rest and digest mode. A consistent evening ritual is exactly that signal. It works like an anchor, helping to slow down the internal rhythm. It's like a conductor, signaling the orchestra to play quieter, slower, preparing it for the final chord, sleep. Imagine, your day is a busy, noisy street. Your evening ritual is a quiet, cozy courtyard you turn into before entering your house, sleep. Without this courtyard, you burst into the house straight from the noisy street, bringing all its hustle and bustle with you. What's the benefit for you? Reduced stress and anxiety before sleep, falling asleep faster and more easily, as the brain receives a clear signal to relax. Improved sleep quality due to a smoother transition, an opportunity to dedicate some time to yourself, to pleasant sensations. Create your own island of calm before bed. Let it be your personal, inviolable territory of peace and quiet. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss the videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. 7. Coffee, alcohol, and lack of water. Hidden sleep saboteurs. And the last, but not least important point, is what and how much we drink during the evening, besides sweet drinks. Many think that a cup of coffee after dinner or a small glass of wine for relaxation won't hurt. Others, conversely, try to drink less in the evening, fearing nighttime awakenings. Both can disrupt sleep. Caffeine, even consumed 6 hours before bed, can affect its quality. Alcohol, although initially causing drowsiness, disrupts sleep structure in the second half of the night, making it shallow and fragmented. And lack of water can lead to dehydration, which also negatively affects well-being and sleep. What to do? Avoid caffeine, coffee, strong black and green tea, cola, in the afternoon, especially in the evening. Limit or eliminate alcohol before bed, and drink enough plain water throughout the day and a little in the evening, but not gulping it down right before bed. Let's remember George. He was 78. He often felt worn out in the mornings, complained of brain fog. In the evening, he might have a cup of coffee after dinner to perk up for evening activities, or a small glass of cognac before bed for sound sleep, as he believed. At the same time, he avoided drinking water in the evening, fearing trips to the toilet. The idea that coffee or cognac could interfere rather than help seemed absurd to him. Coffee doesn't affect me, and cognac, that's a folk remedy. He was confident in his habits. Plus, giving up the evening ritual with cognac was psychologically difficult. It was associated with relaxation and status. But morning sluggishness and concentration problems interfered with his favorite hobby, solving crosswords. He decided to conduct an experiment. He replaced evening coffee with chicory, which contains no caffeine, and cognac with a cup of warm water with lemon or mint tea. He started drinking water in small amounts throughout the evening. After a couple of weeks, he noted with surprise that the morning fog had lifted. He began waking up with a clear head, feeling refreshed, and the crosswords started clicking again. Who would have thought, he said, that the problem was my energizing coffee and sleep-inducing cognac? And I was wrong to fear water. It turns out, if you drink it bit by bit, it doesn't disturb sleep at night. Caffeine blocks adenosine receptors in the brain, a substance that signals fatigue. Alcohol disrupts REM sleep phases, important for brain restoration and memory. Dehydration can cause headaches, fatigue, and even nighttime awakenings. Evening caffeine and alcohol are like trying to fix a delicate mechanism with a sledgehammer. You only break it more. A proper drinking regimen is like lubricating all the parts of the mechanism with the right oil, so it works smoothly and without fail. What's the benefit for you? Improved sleep structure and quality, reduced morning sluggishness and brain fog, improved concentration and memory, maintaining water balance, important for all body systems. Be mindful of what you drink in the evening. You see, my dears? Nothing supernatural. Small, simple steps that can lead to big changes in your well-being. Replacing cookies with berries, chips with nuts, sugary soda with herbal tea, moving dinner earlier, putting away your phone an hour before sleep, creating your island of calm before bed, being mindful of caffeine and alcohol. These aren't restrictions. They are expressions of love and care for yourself, for your body, that has served you faithfully for so many years. You've lived a long, full life, accumulated wisdom and experience. You deserve the right to enjoy every day, feel vibrant, energetic, and rested. Don't think it's too late to change anything at your age. It's never too late. You can start right today with one small step. Choose what seems easiest and most pleasant to you and just try it. Listen to yourself, to your body. It will surely respond with gratitude. Remember, your health and well-being are in your hands, and you are absolutely capable of making your life better, more comfortable, and more joyful. Believe in yourself. You can do it. Wishing you peaceful nights and good, energetic days.